Hi guys, welcome back to World Events. So this channel is dedicated on bringing you updates and information on current world affairs happening around. So if you're a person who likes to know things happening around the globe, consider subscribing and turn on the bell notification so that you will be notified on my every upload. So now, let's start the video. So today we are going to discuss on two important topics regarding Israel. Yes, Israel has established talks with Egypt as well as Saudi Arabia. So first let us look at Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is planning to buy defense missiles from Israel. However, this news is not an official statement, but there are small stream media bringing out this information that Saudi Arabia is in talks with Israeli officials to buy weapons from them. So there are two kinds of weapons which Saudi Arabia is trying to buy. First is the Iron Dome system, which we all would have heard in the recent days during the attacks carried out by the Hamas. This Iron Dome was acting like a pillar and blocking all the missiles which were about to fall on Israel. And the second one, they are planning to buy Barak ER, a defense system which works under the sea. So in case there are attacks trying to be carried out under the sea, this Barak ER which is produced by the IAI, they are planning to buy that as well to defend underwater attacks. There's one more important thing which we have to note here. Saudi Arabia is officially not in peace agreements with Israel. So we all would have heard about the Abraham Accord, which was done under President Trump's administration, which was uniting the Arab countries with the Jewish nation Israel. So in this Abraham Accord, there are a few countries like Bahrain, Sudan and UAE which came into peace agreements with Israel, and I think they have also started tourism they have started launching flights between Israel and these Arab countries where the Abraham Accord has been signed between them. Saudi Arabia is not a part of this Abraham Accord, but now we are able to clearly see that Saudi Arabia is turning towards Israel. Now, why are they turning towards Israel? What is the necessity for them? Till now, the US had defense systems which was placed in Saudi Arabia. The US had missile systems and defense equipment which was in Saudi Arabia, but now under President Biden's administration, they have removed or they have withdrawn all those equipments. So now Saudi Arabia is looking for an alternate. So there are reports that they are considering China, Russia and countries like that, but Israel is a very strong option for them to consider. So now why is Saudi Arabia wanting to establish a defense system for themselves? So the reason is there are a group of people called as the Houthis rebels which are backed by the Iranian government, by the Iranian regime. So these people are against Saudi Arabia and they are carrying out attacks against Saudi Arabia in these past years. In this year alone, they have carried approximately 240 attacks using attack drones and ballistic missiles. Considering all this, Saudi Arabia is trying to establish a defense system for themselves which is strong enough and powerful, which can defend their country. So regardlessly, no doubt, Israel has one of the best military equipments and defense systems in the world. Of course, we realize that Saudi Arabia is not a part of the Abraham Accord, but experts are anticipating that they will become a part of the Abraham Accord, which is a peace treaty between the Arab nations and the Jewish state of Israel. So this deal will establish a friendship and relationship between these two wonderful countries. So now, will other Arab states be happy with Saudi Arabia buying weapons from Israel? Mostly no, they are not going to be happy. Of course, Iran and countries like that are going to oppose Saudi Arabia, but we have to wait and watch to see what happens next. So now secondly, the Prime Minister of Israel, Naftali Bennett, has met with the President of Egypt, Abdel al-Sisi. The reports say that they are primarily discussing on two subjects. First is the conflict between the Israel and the Palestinians, where we see in the recent days there are continuous rockets being launched by the Hamas in the Gaza border, as well as Israel retaliating with airstrikes. We also have to note that recently, a couple of months back, when there was a 11-day conflict between the Hamas and the Israeli Defense Force in the Gaza border, Egypt is the one who intervened and brokered a deal and established and helped in establishing a ceasefire. So Egypt is very well known for establishing diplomatic relationships. And the second thing which they were discussing was regarding Iran's nuclear deal. Now we all know that Iran is just few weeks away from becoming a nuclear power, and Israel has discussed it previously with the US, and now they have also carried out discussions with Egypt, and there are reports which say that Egypt is asking Israel to stop or cease its military action in the Gaza, and they will give them a real support in talking to the Hamas and reducing the rocket launches being carried out on Israel. So these are the two important meetings Israel had with the two countries, Saudi Arabia and Egypt, in the recent days. So now lastly, a few updates about India. So Saudi Arabian Foreign Minister is here in India on a 3-day trip to discuss with the Prime Minister and the Ministry of External Affairs to discuss the crisis going on in Afghanistan regarding the Taliban. So you might wonder, why is this meeting with the Saudi Arabian Foreign Minister so important? So now we have a neighbor, Pakistan, who is an ally or is supporting the Taliban, and we have reports that the Pakistan government is conducting talks with the Taliban, and this might result as a threat for our nation. And another good news, in these tough times we have a good news. Prime Minister Modi has said that the people of Goa are 100% vaccinated on their first dose of the vaccine, and Goa might play a very important role in the resuming of tourism. And finally, IPL is back after a long gap of so many months due to the COVID restrictions. We have the IPL games resuming today, and today we have the first match in the second part of the IPL, Chennai Super Kings versus the Mumbai Indians. So that's all for today. Hope you all like this video. I'll see you very shortly with another video. Until then, have a nice day. Thank you.